I sat at the head of my father's mahogany dining table, enduring another lecture about my life choices. The monthly family dinner had become a ritual of disappointment. A boutique consulting firm? Dad scoffed, cutting into his perfectly cooked steak. That's hardly what I had in mind when I paid for your law degree. Davidson Consulting is doing quite well, I replied quietly, checking another alert on my phone. Another billion-dollar acquisition completed. Doing well means different things to different people, Mom added delicately. Your sister just made senior partner at your father's firm. Yes, Lisa. The golden child. Harvard Law. Following in Dad's footsteps at Harrison & Partners, one of the city's most prestigious law firms. Lisa understands ambition, Dad continued. 32 years old and already handling our biggest clients. While you're playing at being a, what do you call it? CO, I supplied, suppressing a smile as another notification lit up my phone. Of a small business, he dismissed. Hardly the same as running a real company. If he only knew that Davidson Consulting was actually the Davidson Group, a global investment firm that had quietly become one of the largest private equity players in the market. How many employees do you have now? Lisa asked with fake sympathy. 10, 15. Something like that, I murmured, thinking of my actual workforce of over 1,000 employees across 3 continents. You could still join the firm, Dad offered, not for the first time. Start as a junior associate, work your way up properly. I checked another alert. The timing was almost perfect. I'm comfortable where I am, I replied. Comfortable. Dad's voice rose. Is that what we raised you to be? Comfortable running some tiny consulting shop while your sister handles billion-dollar mergers? Mom touched his arm. Richard, perhaps. No, she needs to hear this, Dad continued. I've watched you waste your potential for years. That brilliant legal mind reduced to advising small businesses about whatever it is you do. What I did was orchestrate corporate takeovers that made Lisa's billion-dollar mergers look like pocket change. But they didn't need to know that. Not yet. Speaking of mergers, Lisa smirked, we just landed the Davidson Group account. Now that's real business. I nearly choked on my wine. They had no idea. Oh. I managed. Massive private equity firm, Dad boasted. Very mysterious ownership but incredibly powerful. They're looking to acquire some legal firms in the city. How interesting, I said as my phone lit up again. Not that you'd understand deals of that magnitude, Lisa added. In your small business world. The butler appeared at Dad's elbow looking flustered. Sir, Mr. Patterson is here. He says it's urgent. Dad frowned. Tom Patterson, my managing partner, on a Sunday night. The dining room doors burst open. Tom Patterson, Dad's oldest friend and partner, stood there pale-faced. Richard, he gasped. The Davidson Group. They're not just looking for representation. They want to buy us out. Dad's fork clattered to his plate. What? Their CEO is coming tomorrow to discuss terms, Tom continued. They've already bought 3 other firms this month. But we're Harrison & Partners, Dad sputtered. We don't get bought out. We do the buying. My phone buzzed one final time. Right on schedule. Actually, I said softly, you do get bought out. The paperwork is already being processed. The dining room went silent. All eyes turned to me as I calmly took another sip of wine. What did you just say? Dad's voice was dangerously quiet. The Davidson Group, I repeated, pulling out my tablet. Would you like to see the preliminary acquisition documents? Lisa snorted. What would you know about? About the deal? I swiped through my tablet. Everything, considering I'm the one who structured it. Tom Patterson stepped forward, squinting at me. That's impossible. The Davidson Group CEO is Catherine Davidson, I finished. Founder and sole owner of the Davidson Group. I smiled. But you can call me Kate. Everyone at the office does. No, Lisa whispered. No, you run a small consulting firm. You advise local businesses. You're not a corporate raider who's been systematically acquiring law firms across the country? I raised an eyebrow. The mysterious CEO everyone's been trying to meet. I turned to Dad. The one you dismissed as a small business owner exactly 3 minutes ago? Dad's face had gone pale. The Davidson Group is worth $12 billion as of this morning, I supplied. Though that's a conservative estimate. We keep most of our assets private. But your office, Mom stammered. That little space downtown is a front, I confirmed. Our real headquarters takes up the top 10 floors of the Davidson Tower. You know, the one Lisa's been trying to get a meeting in for months. Tom collapsed into a chair, loosening his tie. The other firms you bought. All competitors of Harrison and Partners, I nodded. Though none quite as personally significant as this acquisition. Lisa's perfect composure cracked. This is a joke. It has to be. I pulled up the firm's financial records on my tablet. Your last quarter was particularly weak. Partner compensation down 15%, client retention slipping, that malpractice suit you tried to hide. How do you know about that? Dad's voice shook. I know everything about Harrison and Partners, I said quietly. Every weakness, every vulnerability, every skeleton in every closet. I've been watching for years, waiting for the perfect moment. To destroy us? Lisa whispered. To acquire you, I corrected. Business, not personal. Though I have to admit, tonight's dinner conversation made it a bit more satisfying. The butler appeared again. Miss Davidson, your car is here. Perfect timing, I stood, smoothing my dress. The papers will be delivered tomorrow morning. I suggest you read them carefully. Especially the part about new management structure. The next morning I sat in my real office 60 stories above the city. Floor-to-ceiling windows offered a perfect view of my father's law firm, soon to be just another subsidiary of the Davidson Group. They've arrived, my assistant announced through the intercom. All of them. The security feed showed the scene in our luxury reception area. Dad looking smaller without his usual confidence. Lisa, her designer suit failing to hide her anxiety. Mom clutching her social status like a shield. Tom Patterson drowning in paperwork. The financial press is calling non-stop, my assistant continued. The Wall Street Journal's headline, Mystery Show Revealed. Catherine Davidson's path from failed lawyer to corporate titan. Send them up, I decided. Let's see how they handle my small business now. The elevator opened directly into my penthouse office suite. Their faces showed everything as they took in the sprawling space, the sophisticated tech, the wall of screens displaying our global operations. Quite different from my little consulting office, isn't it? I smiled. Please sit. Kate, Dad started, then corrected himself. Miss Davidson. Still Kate, I said. Though failed lawyer, seems to be the media's preferred term this morning. Lisa clutched her briefcase. The acquisition papers are ironclad, I finished. Your firm's best lawyers already reviewed them. Well, my firm's lawyers now. You can't just. Dad's voice cracked. Buy out Harrison and Partners? I pulled up the financials on the main screen. Actually, I can. Your last quarter made you particularly vulnerable. The partners are already voting to accept our offer. The partners wouldn't. Tom Patterson began. Check your phone, I suggested. They all reached for their devices. The vote was already at 82% in favor of the acquisition. You see, I continued, while you were dismissing my tiny consulting shop, I was building something rather significant. The Davidson Group now controls legal firms across 3 continents. Harrison and Partners is just the latest addition. But why? Mom whispered. Why didn't you tell us? Tell you what? I stood walking to the window. That while Dad was calling me his greatest disappointment, I was becoming one of the most powerful CEOs in the country. That every time Lisa mocked my small business, I was orchestrating another billion-dollar deal. This is absurd, Lisa finally burst out. You can't just waltz in and take over a century-old firm because your feelings were hurt. I turned from the window, my smile cold. Feelings? This isn't about feelings, Lisa. This is about a failing law firm that's hemorrhaging clients and bleeding talent. Your malpractice crisis alone makes you a liability. Dad's head snapped up. How did you know about the Anderson case? I pressed a button and documents filled the screens. Or the Jensen settlement you buried. The Maxwell briefs you misplaced? I know everything, Dad. Every shortcut, every cover-up, every ethical line you've danced across. Those are confidential, Tom started. Nothing is confidential from your new owner. I cut him off. The Davidson Group's due diligence is thorough. My phone buzzed. Another partner vote had come in. 89% now. Your senior partners are quite eager to accept our offer, I noted. Especially after seeing the compensation package we're offering. Well, to those we choose to keep. Lisa's face went pale. Choose to keep. Did you think everyone would automatically stay? I pulled up the HR files. We'll be conducting performance reviews. You wouldn't dare fire your own sister, Mom gasped. I wouldn't. I raised an eyebrow. The same sister who told the entire country club I was a failure? Who mocked my little business at every family dinner? That was different, Lisa protested. We didn't know. That's exactly the problem, I cut her off. You never bothered to know. Too busy looking down from your precious partner's office to notice I was building an empire. Dad stood suddenly. Tao, see here. No, you see, I interrupted, my voice steel. Your firm is mine now. Your clients are mine. Your reputation is mine. Everything you spent a century building belongs to the daughter you dismissed as a failure. The final partner vote flashed across the screen. 93% in favor. And there it is, I smiled. Harrison and Partners is officially part of the Davidson Group. Though we'll be changing the name, of course. Harrison doesn't quite fit our brand. The next morning's headlines were relentless. Davidson Group acquires Harrison and Partners. A daughter's revenge? From family disappointment to corporate titan. The Catherine Davidson story. Harrison law dynasty ends as prodigal daughter takes control. I reviewed the morning papers in what used to be my father's corner office, now completely transformed with sleek modern furniture and state-of-the-art technology. The old law books and family photos were gone, replaced by digital displays showing the Davidson Group's global operations. My phone buzzed constantly. Lisa, the partner meeting is in an hour. Please tell me I still have a job. Mom, the charity board is asking questions. What do I tell them? Dad, we need to discuss this as a family. Your sister's client list has been reviewed, my HR director reported. The results are concerning. How concerning? I pulled up Lisa's files. 3 major clients are already threatening to leave. Something about preferential treatment and ignored deadlines. I smiled. Send them my direct line. I'll handle their accounts personally. The intercom buzzed. Miss Davidson, your father is here. He's demanding to see you. Through the security feed I could see him in reception. No longer the imposing figure who dismissed me at countless family dinners. His confident stance was gone, replaced by something approaching desperation. Send him in, I decided. Let's finish this. He entered like a man walking to his own funeral. His eyes darted around the transformed office, taking in all the changes. Pie books. He started. Digitized, I replied. Along with every case file, client record and firm document from the last 50 years. Amazing what modern technology can do. Kate, his voice cracked. About what I said. Which part? I turned my screen toward him, showing a video compilation. When you called me a failure last month. Or at Christmas when you offered me a junior position. Or maybe at Thanksgiving when you said I was wasting my law degree. I didn't know. That's becoming quite a theme in this family, I noted. You didn't know I was building an empire. Didn't know I was buying up your competitors. Didn't know your own daughter had become the mysterious Catherine Davidson everyone was desperate to meet. The firm was my life's work, he said quietly. 3 generations of Harrisons. Who never considered that a daughter might be worthy of inheriting it, I finished. Now it's just another subsidiary of the Davidson Group. Ironic, isn't it? My phone lit up with another notification. Lisa's biggest client had just signed an exclusive contract with the Davidson Group. Your sister's handling of the Maxwell account. Dad began. Was negligent at best, malpractice at worst. I cut him off. Don't worry, I've already reassigned her cases. All of them. She's your sister. Is she? I stood walking to the window. Was she my sister when she mocked my cute little business at every family event? When she spread rumors about my failed career at the country club? The intercom buzzed again. Miss Davidson, the board meeting is starting. And your sister's client list has been fully transferred. Perfect timing, I smiled. Oh, and Dad? You might want to check your office. Well, your former office. His face paled. What do you mean? The senior partner restructuring, I explained. The Davidson Group has different standards for leadership. You're firing me? Offering early retirement, I corrected. Very early. Very generous package, though. I'm not completely heartless. He sank into a chair. Everything I built will be rebuilt, I finished. Better. Stronger. Without the ethical corners you cut or the nepotism you practiced. My phone buzzed again. The charity board needs an answer, I read aloud. Interesting how quickly social status evaporates when the family name changes. Your mother's position in society is no longer my concern, I cut him off. Just like my career was never yours. Security appeared at the door. Miss Davidson? The board is waiting. Tell them I'll be right there. I turned back to Dad. Your retirement papers are with HR. I suggest you sign them before the ethics committee reviews those files I mentioned. He stood slowly, looking every bit his age. Was any of this worth it? Destroying your family. Worth it? I laughed softly. Dad, I built a $12 billion empire while you were calling me a disappointment. I'd say that was worth everything. The door closed behind him and I watched through the window as he walked out of the building. No longer a legal titan, just another retired lawyer. My phone lit up one last time. Lisa, please, we need to talk about my position. Your position? I typed back. Try the junior associate pool. I hear they're hiring. After all, everyone should start at the bottom. Isn't that what Dad always said?